Hey guys, Does Center Magic back with some quick tips on cards that are shooting up in price, and I mean shooting like in the last 12 hours. In fact, just in the last 3 hours, the very last vendor that I checked finally updated the price on this card. The card is, of course, Tireless Tracker. I knew this one was a potential good card because it's just so simplistic in what it does, and it's just good. I mean, it's a 3-2 for 3, so that's already pretty good. It's a rare, so obviously it's got to be a rare for the price to go nuts. And it basically has Landfall Investigate. Plus, the creature gets bigger every time that you sacrifice a clue. That's huge. I mean, he's kind of like a replacement Managorger Hydra, even though that's still legal. The one thing that I don't know is what deck it actually goes in. I don't know if it's like humans or some other deck I haven't seen yet. I've been playing a lot online, but who knows? Don't really care. I just know what the price is. And it's currently sitting around $8 on eBay. It's well over 10. And I believe originally it was at $2 to $2.50 around there. And just this morning it was at about $3 to $4 at a lot of vendors. Now, the funny thing is, if you go to other tracking websites like quietspeculation.com, it'll say that Tireless Tracker is shooting up, but that it's only at $4 retail. That is not true. It's at least double that. And at the time that I checked, every single listing on all of eBay in English were sold out worldwide. So in the entire world, there were 0 available. I mean, you'd have to go to like Card Kingdom or I don't know, Troll and Toad, or just one of those other dedicated websites. I actually, I don't usually do this, and they do limit you to 8 as far as I know, but I saw Card Kingdom had the price drastically wrong, so I bought a ton of them. Well, I bought 8. I mean, if I'm sitting there on a Sunday doing work, shipping out cards and looking up prices and adjusting all my prices over and over and over, and I'm out of them, guess what? You know, they're lost. They're the ones not working. I'm not always mean to my competitors, though, only when there's a lot of money on the line, because there was one down in Chicago. They accidentally listed Kozilek for the wrong price. They listed 4 of them for the price of 1, so I bought up their entire inventory on eBay and then just told them, hey, cancel the order. I just did it so nobody else could buy up the rest of them. So that's the main hot tip, but let's talk about some more information that's going on with some crazy, crazy prices. Like, for example, the one I referenced in the last video, which is Thalia's Lieutenant. Still rising slightly. A lot of sales going at $6, $7, $8 around there. Some even have it as high as 10 or 11. It's just the best human card. It's just like, I mean, you could say Reflector Mage is the best human card, but this is the best like general human card in human deck. Now, in case you missed it, Drana, Liberator of Malakir, has been creeping up in price a little bit because black vampires are pretty big, and that is a lot of counters dropped on your creatures with a flying first striker. 2 pretty surprising increases were actually Anguished Unmaking, which didn't look that good, but it's looking pretty good right now. And Asylum Visitor. I still don't know why. I mean, it's a good card, but it's not that good. But it shot up from worthless to slightly above worthless, so that's cool. Cryptolith Right is starting to kind of get up there just a little bit if you look at the right website. A lot of the websites that would have it a lot lower than the normal price are now starting to sell it for at or slightly above its normal rated book price. That's just a phrase. There's not actually a book as far as I know. But it's nice to see that OP is crap card is finally getting some consideration and finding its way into some decks. One of the hotter tips is the fact that I just once again sold out of Sorin's. He is definitely winning the Planeswalker Wars as far as who's the most popular, but the price isn't really going up yet, but I'm selling out, everybody else seems to be selling out, so eventually nobody's going to have one and the price is going to start getting ridiculous. So if you want a Sorin, get it now, and if you want an investment, well, it's a pretty expensive investment to make right now. There's no guarantee it'll keep going up, but it's not a terrible one, I guess. Archangel Avacyn is recently shooting up, which I don't think will keep happening, so if you have one, I would recommend selling it right about now. I mean, it's a good card, it's just not that good. Yes, you can flicker it, but it's going to keep hitting you. On eBay, it shot up from about $26 on launch day to somewhere around, I believe, $33 last time I checked, which is pretty darn good. Now, if you have a Relentless Dead, I'd recommend selling that as quickly as possible. It looks super amazing, but it looks like nobody has come up with a popular zombies deck yet. I feel like they will, but maybe nobody cares because Kalitas is so damn expensive. As for Westvale Abbey, that card is definitely holding steady at around the same price. It dipped a little bit, but I don't think it's going to take a crash anytime soon because it's just so stupidly powerful. The one card that's driving it is Secure the Wastes. If you can find a copy of that in the entire planet Earth, good for you, you might want to pick it up. Secure the Wastes is usually over $10 right now, which it always was a good card, but lately it went nuts because the mana ramp is just insane, and you've got Cryptolith to blame, as well as a lot of the land drops that were already in green, honestly. Another big card that's finally seen some respect, price-wise and sales-wise, is, of course, Always Watching. I mean, if you just read what it does, you'd think, oh yeah, that's a good card, but it really started low, and now I think the price is roughly doubled. You know, I'm going by a couple different websites, and if you look at the right website, it'll say it doubled. If you look at the wrong one, it'll say the price stayed the same. It just depends when they updated it. One more to watch out for is the Gitrog monster. Apparently people have figured out a way to kind of put that in a solid working deck. I don't really see the benefit, but I don't know, it probably has something to do with card draw and math and all that crap. If you look at the supplies of Gitrog Monster on just eBay, it's getting pretty thin and pretty grim. I sold every single copy I own already, so that thing is going to go through the roof if people continue to buy it and put it in whatever it's going in. And finally, one of the biggest cards that just shot up through the roof, I mean, this is just insane, is Declaration in Stone. Apparently, it really is like a rare Bile Blight. I mean, Bile Blight was one of the hardest to get uncommons when it was legal, but it was still an uncommon, so it never got completely nuts on the price. I think it was maybe $3-4 a card. Well, translate that into rare, and you've got about the price of Declaration in Stone. It's hovering over $10 a card on most websites, so, yeah. I mean, yes, it's a sorcery, but it's removal that isn't black, and it doesn't cost double white, so it is sort of like a balanced out version of Bile Blight. And of course it works on anything with a name, so manifested and morphed creatures are out, but I think practically all of those have cycled out already. So if you just look at the fact that it gets rid of, Thopter tokens, or any repetitive drops, or cloned anything, or scions, or just any of that, it's such a good card. Absolutely great. I actually ended up putting it in my my budget deck, which it turns out is well over $100, so it's not a budget deck anymore, but it's a winning deck. And it's a very, very unique but simplistic deck. I've seen people running all this crazy 2-color, 3-color, Planeswalker, Super Controls, Scry, Draw, Clue nonsense, and I'm just sitting there just running them over on turn 5 with this deck. It's just a consistent Super Blitz deck. I love it. I'll be making a video about it shortly. And finally, I'll end with a mystery tip. I have no idea why, but there have been extremely strong sales of Gold Knight Castigator. I do not see the upside of that card. I just don't. I mean, it's a 4/4.5 flyer, 4 power, 4.5 toughness, because it takes double damage. That makes you take double damage, and there's no upside, other than it's a flyer. But, I mean, have you seen the mana cost? It doesn't make sense. There's just no reason to run this card. But it's a mythic, and the card designers obviously had something in mind. I just don't know what. So apparently somebody might have figured it out, because every time I post any more of them that I open, boom, they're sold instantly. It's not going for a great price, but if there's some sort of hush-hush deck that uses it and uses some kind of weird trick with it, well, then you're probably going to want to pick some up now because they're going to double or triple in price. But that's the one that it's a wild card. I don't really know about that. So that's my update based on my own sales and what I've been seeing on other people's websites and eBay as a whole, really. Hopefully it helps you guys out, helps you buy cards at the right time or sell cards at the right time, which is always the goal. And I'll see you guys next video.